Hello there and good evening. You are watching the Car Diary, and of course we are taking up the airwaves right here on Younib TV, the best youth television network in East and Central Africa. Now, today's episode of the Car Diary, we want to get up close and candid with the Toyota Land Cruiser V8. You asked for it, you have it. Yeah, so this car tumepewa na Car Soko, the Kenya's premier car mart. This is the home of 4x4s, and as I have always said, if you want to get an SUV, that car that you have been dreaming of, a car that will take you to the end of the world and bring you back, you gotta come and get it at Car Soko, because this is the home of all 4x4s. Now, I am seated in the Land Cruiser V8, as I had said, and I want us now to start reviewing the Land Cruiser V8, and we are going out to start with the anterior profile and we see how it looks like. Let's do this, guys. Now, when we come to the anterior profile of this V8, we start with the predominant Toyota logo, which you will always find in nearly all the Toyota vehicles, centrally placed at the anterior profile. Now, we also have this grille right here, which is synchronized in gray and silver colors, which gives this car a pretty nice ambience. And the function of this opening, we said, it is the one that enhances the air cooling system in the engine, because this is where the air enters the carburetor through. Now let us look at another thing, and we shift focus to the headlights. It comes with these bi-xenon headlights, which are beautiful, and we have the daylight running lights mounted on them as well, so that will give them a pretty nice feature as well. Another thing that I want us to look at is the fog lights, which we have right here, and another one on the farthest end, which will help you cruise with this car kama kuna fog or it's a misty day. Yeah, so that is that. Now, another thing that I want us to look at is this car also comes with the obstacle sensors, and when we did the Discovery and even the Mercedes S-Class, we explained why, or rather the function of the obstacle sensors. If you missed those episodes, you can catch up with them on our YouTube page at Younib Media TV. Now, another thing that I want us to look at on the anterior profile is we do have the convex mirror pale yenye driver anaweza tumia kuona hapo chini, and even focus on the entire bonnet as they drive, and that is a pretty nice feature for the driver. That is why iko on your left, because the driver anakaa huko right, so akika pale anaweza iona very easily. Ama namna gani? Yeah. Now, when we come to the side profile, we do have the side mirror, which is synchronized together with the indicator lights as well, and that is a pretty nice feature for this car. Also noticeable on the side profile is the pencil thin gaps that we have in between the body panels, indicating high quality craftsmanship in this car. This V8 from Japan, actually the Japanese engineers are known for doing good work when it comes to doing body panels, and as you can see, it is very streamlined, shiny, inakaa vizuri from what you can see. Now, another thing that we have on the side profile is the footstep, and as we said, you will get this in nearly all the high-end SUVs juu ya height yao. Suspension iko juu, so for you to get in, you will need at least a stepping stone to help you get inside the SUV, and that is why we do have this footstep right here. Another thing that we have on the side profile of this V8 is this silver line that runs all the way to the rear, and we have another one on the doors yenye inakimbia mpaka kwa hiyo mlango ya nyuma, and that also gives it a pretty nice look from the side profile. Now let us talk about the tires as well and see what we have right here. Now These tires comes with a 18-inch alloy rim, as you can see, and a ground clearance of 8.6 inches, which is pretty nice for this car. It is such a big SUV. Na venye mmezoea hii gari, it is mostly used by politicians, especially here in Kenya. I don't know why they usually prefer the Land Cruiser V8 or the Prado as opposed to other high-end vehicles like the Land Rovers. Maybe they have something that they get with the V8 as opposed to those other SUVs. Now I want us to head to the rear profile as well and see how it looks like. Now the rear profile of this V8 is a very simple one. We do have the Land Cruiser badging centrally placed on the rear profile of this car. Then we also have the predominant Toyota logo centrally placed slightly above the Land Cruiser badge. So you will know that the car in front of you is a Toyota Land Cruiser. And then we do have the V8 badge right here. So when you see these three, you are going to be in a position to note that the car in front of you is a Toyota Land Cruiser V8. Hadi hapo tuko sawa? Very nice. Now let us talk about the brake lights that we have right here. It comes synchronized with the indicator lights and the reverse lights that are here as well. So e combination ni fiti, it's brilliant to have it the way it is in this Land Cruiser V8. Lastly, on the rear profile, I want us to talk about the reflector brake lights that we have right here. We have one on this end and another one on the farthest end, and we did mention why we have the reflector brake lights on the rear profile. Another thing, we do have the obstacle sensors up and nyuma as well, and that is pretty nice. If you missed the functions of the obstacle sensors, go and watch the episode we did with the Land Rover Discovery or the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. We did explain why we have the obstacle sensors. Right about now, we are going on a short commercial break, and when we come back, we get to the interior profile of the Land Cruiser V8 and see what it has to offer. But before we go, I want to remind you that this episode is sponsored by Kasoko, the Kenya's premier car mart, the home of all 4x4s. Remember to follow them across their social media platforms at Kasoko on Instagram, and you can as well do your e-shopping, e-window shopping that is, on their website at www.kasoko.net. You can as well follow us across our social media platforms at Younib Media TV on Facebook and on YouTube, and at Younib_TV on Instagram. Remember to also follow the Conversation Professor himself at _Albakwekwe on Instagram and at Alfonso Albakwekwe on Facebook. As we are going for our break, make sure you go and do the necessary on those socials that I have mentioned. Welcome back to the show. You are still watching The Car Diary. I am your host, Alfonso Albakwekwe himself, and if you like, you can call me the Conversation Professor. Now, we are seated inside the Toyota Land Cruiser V8, And now I want us to get to the in-depth review of how the interior profile looks like. So let's do this. Gari kubwa hiyo, unasikia venye inanguruma? We start with this section. I love the graphics that we have right here. Look at that. So we do have the revolutions per minute gauge on this side. This other side we have your speedometer, which will tell you you are cruising at what speed based on the revolutions per minute. So this car comes with a top speed of 180 kilometers per hour, but you can still drive it on sports mode, so it will give you the practicality that you require. Also noticeable, we do have the fuel gauge right here. Msijali about in approach kukua empty, but it's fine. Now shifting focus, I want us to leave this part, shift focus to the center console as well. Now on the very top end of the center console we have our digital clock. When we did the Discovery, the Lexus and the Mercedes S-Class, tulikuwa tunapata zinakam na analog clock. So this V8 comes with a digital clock, and this time tukishuti gari it's 2:41 p.m. as you can see right there. Then tukisonga hapa chini we have this infotainment screen that we have right here. So right about now, wacha kwanza tucheze kama sisi hapa. We see what we have. So it's not giving me what I want, but this is where your infotainment will be displayed. Tukisonga hapa chini, there is the hazard button. That one everybody knows. Then hapa we have the climate control system, and these signs we have also explained them in our previous episodes as well. Now we do have the recirculation of air button. Tuko na fan, hii ni ya kuongeza, hii ni ya kupandisha, ya turn on fan. You can cruise in automatic. Temperature control. We do have the rear defrost and the front defrost as well, but for you to use these functions you must first of all engage the air conditioner. Hadi hapo tuko sawa? Yeah. Now I want us to songe hapa chini kidogo where we have the power output. So the power output for this car, it will give you how many volts? 12 volts and 120 watts of power. So that is pretty brilliant. We do have a small storage compartment hapa mali unaweza weka simu ukicharge wakati una drive hii gari. Tukisonga hapa we do have the gear lever where we have the parking, reverse, the neutral, the drive and the sports mode as well. Na uki engage sports mode you can add na utoe. Ukipandisha juu utakuwa unaongeza, ukishukisha utakuwa unatoa. Then we do have this button right here yenye inasaidia hii gari ikipanda mlima inaweza jishikilia so that it can go through a hill or a slanted terrain with ease, and that is why we do have this button right here. Now also hapa tuko na storage compartment, 2 cup holders for the front passengers where unaweza weka hapa your cup of coffee or your bottle of water as you travel with this car. Now we do also have another special stuff right here. So this section performs so many functions. One is that it will act as the armrest for the driver and the co-driver. As you can see right now, it is an armrest, so naweza drive gari kama mkono iko hapo. Hadi hapo tuko sawa? Haya. Now tukifungua, you have a storage compartment hapa. So this is the verification document for this car. Wacha tuweke wenyewe vizuri. So when you open this, you get extra storage compartment. Unaweza ika hapa a tin maybe ikiwa imebeba vitu, and then this segment venye naona iko crafted, it's meant for maybe another cup holders. So if you have many of them, that is. Then tukitoa hii, huku chini unapata kitu tunaita cooler box. So unaweza cool drinks zako hapa vizuri sana. As you drive this car, you can enjoy cold drinks. Yeah, so let us now talk about legroom and space. Yeah. Now, when we come to the legroom and space, it is sufficient venye unaweza ona. Let me try retracting it. Hiyo nimeirudisha nyuma kabisa. So the legroom and space is sufficient for both tall and short drivers. If you are a short driver, then you will retract this seat towards ikuje mbele ndio ukue accommodated like hapo. I feel very comfortable kama ni mimi ningekuwa na hii gari mali iko, because it looks like I am a short driver. Yeah. So let us now shift focus on the rear seats, and we see what we have there as well. But before we leave this place, hii gari, it is only the front passengers, that is the driver and the co-driver, that will get the opportunity to enjoy the sunroof that we have right here. We do have a sunroof right here. My guy will be showing you that, and you're gonna see how good it looks. Yeah, so wacha tuifungue muone. There you go. And if this car was carrying a mheshimiwa, angesimama hapo juu asalimie wananchi, but for now wacha tuifunge and then tuingie hapo nyuma. Very nice. Tuingie hapo nyuma sasa. Now we are seated on the rear seats of the Toyota Land Cruiser V8, and as you can see, I have sufficient legroom for me. So that means if you were to go on long drives with this car, you will arrive safely bila kuchoka. And this car is the way, considering how big it is, it can carry a big family, because we do have some seats on the very rear end as well. So let us talk about the storage compartments za watu hapa nyuma. They do not have a lot of storage compartment kama watu mbele, because what I'm seeing is this net right here yenye ina stretch, so you can put your bottle of water right here. And then we have extra storage compartments on the doors, so unaweza weka machupa hapo kwa mlango as you cruise with this car. Now another thing is we do have this buttons hapa za kushukisha kioo kama unataka kushukisha hiyo, si mnajua ni gani. Yeah, so let us also talk about the very rear seats, and then we look at the boot space, tujue mambo inakuanga aje na V8. Now on the very rear seats, kama umekaa hapa nyuma, unless it's a child, then you will not get that comfort. So these rear seats, kama it's a long distance and it's an adult ndio anakaa hapa, atafurahia. But the amazing thing yenye naona hapa nyuma, which I can give a thumbs up for, is I'm seeing some cup holders huku nyuma. So watu wa nyuma hawakutupwa vibaya sana. They were also considered when it comes to cabin storage. Yeah, so let us talk a little bit about the boot space, and then we see how it goes. So what you can see right here, this other chair is not retracted. So the boot space that we have when the rear seats are zimeinuliwa is sufficient enough to carry a big luggage. But if these rear seats are retracted, namaanisha kama uko na the extra 2 passengers wa huku nyuma, then you will have a limited boot space, so that you will not be in a position to carry a big luggage. Sawa sawa. This has been the Car Diary with the conversation professor himself, Alfonso Albakwekwe, and of course we were taking up the airwaves right here on Younib TV, the best youth television network in East and Central Africa. And before we leave, today's episode has been sponsored by Car Soko, the Kenya's premier car mart, the home of 4x4s, where you will get that dream SUV that you have always wanted.